Hello guys, Crispy here, welcome back to another video. With this one, my friends, I'm going to be testing a GeForce RTX 4060 in Indiana Jones and the great VRAM consumption, Circle. This one is the MSI Ventus version of the card. I am running it with the latest Nvidia drivers and I'm not manually overclocking it. You can see all of its specs right here in Tech Power-Ups. GPU 0 says bar is also enabled, and over on the left I'm pairing it with a Ryzen 9 7950X3D CPU with half of its cores disabled, making it pretty much the same as a 7800X3D and 32GB of RAM. Let's get into it, shall we? And here we have it, guys, Indiana Jones on the RTX 4060, starting with 90 to 100 frames per second, which is quite decent, actually. And I've played all the way to the city here, the Vatican City, which is a little bit more open, and we're free to roam around and explore a little bit, than the first initial parts of the map. Anyway, yeah, let's go over the settings first, actually. First things first. We're playing at 1080p resolution using the low settings. Because, well, guys, and DLAA, by the way, this is just applying anti-aliasing over native resolution, okay? So it's still native res. But yeah, we're starting with low settings, which is recommended for the 4060, because as soon as you go to medium settings, it says that the VRAM is not enough. So, yeah, that's a bit concerning, guys. Let's just go down to low again and start playing like this, roam around for a little bit. Then I'll try medium, high, and very high, or ultra high. Very ultra, yes, there's a very ultra preset in this game. As you can see, like, the VRAM consumption is at 7 gigabytes with low settings here, guys, and the allocation is at 7.5 gigs. Yeah, that's a little bit worrisome because these textures are nothing to write home about, these actually look decent, but there are some textures that don't look that impressive, honestly. And that frame time graph, dude, that's terrible, actually. What the heck is wrong with that, right? Oh my goodness, I can feel that it's not really that smooth because of the frame time graph, but with the RTX 4090 we saw exactly the same thing at the lower frame rates, and by lower frame rates I mean less than 100 frames per second. Alright, so yeah, the frame time is a little bit all over the place. I don't like it, but there is a very easy fix that I highly recommend you to do, and that is locking the FPS. All you need to do is go over here to the video options, go down to FPS limit right here, which is set to 1000 by default. That's very nice, actually. I like when the games allow us to unlock our FPS all the way up to 1000. And if you select, for example, 79, I don't like 79, 69, the frame time graph is solved, basically. Like, there's no more issues there, and it's going to be a lot more stable, as you can see. Like, no movement, and this is exactly how it should be out of the box, and I hope they have a patch to fix this, or the unlocked FPS frame times soon. But with that out of the way, for benchmarking purposes, I will unlock the FPS, because, we need to see what the 4060 is truly capable of. So let's just set this to 1000 again. Now, as I said, this is the city area of the game. I'm actually not sure if this is more or less intensive than the jungle where we start the game on, but I guess you're gonna spend quite a lot of time here in the Vatican City, so it's a decent benchmark, right? And the low settings shadow pop-in, dude, it's insane. Look at that. Look at it rendering over there. Wow. Wait, what is suspicious about me? Hello? What is going... Why? I'm just a priest. Okay, let's fight these bastards then. Come on. I got my whip as well. You want to be whipped? Wait, I can't use my whip. Okay. For some reason, I can't use my whip. Also, the LOD on a lot of objects is pretty low. You can see things rendering in right in front of you. Yeah, I don't like that too much. It also happens on Supreme settings. I wish it doesn't happen in the day one patch when they come with the path tracing, because it's still not available in this version of the game. But yeah, you don't really want to use path tracing with an RTX 4060 anyways, right? That's a terrible idea. Now, I want to go back to the Peru area, which is the jungle where you start again, and frame times here are much more stable. So I wonder if it's because of all of the NPCs inside of the city area causing those very weird fluctuations on the frame time graph. But yeah, at least at the start of the game, you're going to see pretty stable frame times with unlocked FPS, but by the time you get to the Vatican City, you will need to lock your FPS if you want a stable experience. And over here, it still has those little spikes here and there in the frame time graph, which will be completely fixed by locking the FPS once again. So yeah, it's pretty decent experience on low settings. It's low settings after all with an RTX 4060, so I would expect this GPU to perform well, right? Anyway, let's go up to the medium settings preset. I'll keep using DLAA for now as well, without frame generation. Frame generation also consumes a bit more VRAM, but it's not really needed. Let's restart the game to make sure that everything applies on the graphics side of things, and let's play again in the Vatican City. Since it's starting right here, let's check it out. 7.8 gigabytes of VRAM allocation. Look at that. Definitely went up. We still got a lot of pop-in on the shadows, but again, even on extreme set, or the supreme settings actually, that happens, unfortunately. But yeah, we do have more dense shadows right here. It definitely looks quite a bit better overall compared to the low settings. Yeah, not bad, not bad. The medium settings is a decent improvement. Unfortunately, we might run out of VRAM and it might start stuttering like crazy because of it. But for now, at least here in the jungle area, it is still very stable. Native resolution as well, with 70-ish frames per second, 80s at times. So no worries, actually. At least in the initial part of the game, it's going to be actually a pretty good experience, I would say. All right, now let's not go to the cutscene right now. Let's go to the Vatican City again. And here we have it. Let's hit continue. I really like this little intro cutscene thingy in third person. Then you go in first person. It's interesting, right? Ooh. So it's starting to swap some things into the RAM now, I think. Because we didn't reach 13 gigabytes of RAM utilization previously, and now it's reaching that. It's also stuttering a little bit more. It could be because of some auto-saving features going on, because I keep seeing a little hat icon at the top right corner when those stutters happen. So maybe it wasn't really VRAM-related stuttering, so that's okay. And yeah, the frame time is still inconsistent, of course, but we can always lock the FPS. And that VRAM allocation is at 7.9 gigabytes. Let's check out the shadow pop-in. Still exactly the same, I think. No, don't you dare. Don't you dare. No, stop it. What are you doing? Okay, I'm going to start counting our FPS here on medium settings. 1% lows are terrible because of that inconsistency once again. But the FPS are pretty similar to what we saw on the low settings. And you know what? I'm going to show you the settings again. 1080p, medium. Okay. All of the settings have changed, all right, but it still looks very similar in this particular area of the game. I think in the forest area it looked more different between the low and medium presets, but over here, yeah, not so much. Maybe this area looks a little bit better because it has more shadows being rendered on medium settings. Yeah, probably. It mostly affects like vegetation, I guess, and shadows with the vegetation especially. Let's continue roaming around, I guess, exploring the little city over here. Oh, interesting. How can I get there? Oh, with the whip, of course. Of course. Going to third person, actually. Yes. Come on. Get up there, Indy. All good. What should we do now? Just go over here. Okay, I've been here before, actually. Yeah. Oh, I'm fine. Hi, how's it going, ladies? Indy is here. Anyway, once again, that frame time is pretty terrible, so I'm just gonna go over here and select 69 FPS lock once again. As long as you lock your FPS to anything lower than the frames that you're getting most of the time, it is going to stay at 69 FPS, and it's going to be a way more stable experience. It also feels smoother. Okay, so yeah, it's definitely stuttering more than previously, right? What is going on? What am I doing? Oh, pushing the door. Yes, let's go. Let's get out of this place, finally. Okay, hello. How's it going? Vatican Gardens. Ooh, are we going to see more vegetation? Oh yes, definitely. This area looks better. Okay. So apparently the open world area is a little bit bigger than what I thought it would be. But can't we go to the actual gardens? I'd like that. Can I? Yes. No, I can't. Okay, no, never mind, never mind. I'm sorry. I was just seeing if I could go to the gardens through there, okay? Sorry. Very sorry. Okay, we'll go. No. They're all after me now. Oh, no. God damn it. Okay, no, stop. Oh, a dog as well. Why? All I did was I went there not on purpose. Like, it was a mistake. A simple mistake. Why do you need to be like that? Oh, my gosh. Also, I see the RAM utilization going up. It's at 13.6 gigs right now. So things keep coming into the RAM, you know? Like, things that should be on VRAM are swapping. So it indicates a little bit of a VRAM issue at the moment, and that's why it's stuttering so much, I think. Or maybe it's the reversal stuttering, but yeah, I don't think so, because it wasn't as severe on low settings. Anyway, let's stop it there. So yeah, that's it for medium settings. It does make a bit of a difference to the graphics quality. The FPS are pretty similar to low settings. Overall, the experience is going to be similar, but it starts having some little stutters here and there, which can be a little bit annoying, but it's not game-breaking yet, in my opinion. Let's go up to high settings now, okay? And this is where it's probably going to suck a little bit, actually. Let's restart the game as well to fully apply everything. So I just launched the game and it instantly failed after the loading screens, telling us that it doesn't have enough VRAM. Holy crap, already on the high preset. Dude, seriously? No way. I'm gonna try again. Let's go. Don't crash. Nvidia, yes, I have an Nvidia GPU. Unfortunately, they only put 8 gigabytes on it. Oh no, it crashed again, guys. So, wow. Kind of insane, right? You can't even apply the high settings properly. So now we gotta go in safe mode, which resets all settings to default, which is low. So 4060 is what? 1 year old at this point, 1.5 years old, and it already can't even launch games at high settings in 1080p resolution, the resolution that's targeted for it. If Nvidia puts 8 gigabytes of VRAM on the 5060, that's gonna be dead on arrival, basically. Okay, so we can still set it to high settings. We just need to keep this set to low or medium. I'm gonna set it to low since textures didn't look terrible, right? And basically we'll be on the safer side of things with a smoother gameplay experience without as much stuttering if you just set this to low. What's the other one? Shadow quality. Shadow quality is also a VRAM hog, apparently, and it needs to be on low as well. If you don't want to run out of VRAM ever, basically. Everything else I'll leave on the high preset, and let's try it like this. I'll need to restart again to apply some things, and now it does work, guys. We're getting 100 FPS, look at that, but of course coming outside it gets 90s. This is better than what we saw previously. Like, what the hell? And now it's on basically high settings everywhere, right? Let me just double check once again. So low textures, low shadows, everything else on high. DLSS is set to auto. That's why we were getting higher FPS. Let's set it to DLAA. So that was with DLSS quality, I think. And native resolution, yeah, it does get us lower FPS. Okay. Okay. It's pretty much the same as medium settings in terms of both graphics and performance as well. Oh my gosh, please leave me alone. I just want to explore. Close the door on them bastards. Okay, I can't. Let's go. Running this way. Yes, sir. Yes, okay. Oh, they left me alone. Good stuff. Where should we go now? This way, yeah. Okay, there. No, stop. Stop it. I didn't notice you were one of them. Stop, go. Go. Get out of the way. How do they all know that I am doing something bad? I don't know. Actually, oh yes, I do know. This is a restricted area. That's why. Okay, now we should be fine now. Okay, yes, we are fine. The dog didn't see us either. Also, I found a cat in this game already. I found Jack, basically. It's very interesting. I don't know, I don't remember properly where he was. Unfortunately, yeah, those shadows, that's super distracting. The popping in this game is absolutely terrible. Even on supreme settings, once again, it is still pretty bad. That's the thing that I don't like about this game. Everything else I'm fine with, you know, in terms of graphics. It's not amazing. It's not the most beautiful game out there. Some people do say that it is. I don't think it is. And if you want to see the cat as well for yourselves, see Jack, basically. Very important. All you need to do is come over here, climb all of this. Lens flares are beautiful in this game. Somebody mentioned that they're mimicking the first movie or something, I think. I don't remember the first movie. I've watched them all, but it was a long time ago already. Lots of bird poop over here. Now, after you climb all of this, you want to go down here again, because you didn't need to climb all of that. Okay, let's go. Let's see him, finally. So climb these stairs, and then we can see Jack. Alrighty. Look at him! Unfortunately, we can't pet him or anything. Like, yeah, we can't even punch him. Oh, look at him. Oh, so cute. That's it for the city area. Let's check it out a little bit here in the forest area again. Again, those shadows are pretty terrible. They're worse than they were on medium because I had to change the shadow quality to low. But this way it doesn't stutter nearly as much, so it's better, I think. More stable. Still getting 70s and 80s. Maybe the shadow quality is the most intensive setting in the entire game, you know? It's pretty weird, but yeah, the other settings don't seem to change many things, honestly. Let's check this out on medium. Can it apply instantly? Yes, it does apply instantly, as you can see. Still around the same FPS. Okay, I'm gonna keep the shadows on medium because they look really, really bad on low. And even on medium, they're not amazing, obviously. LOD is really, really low once again. But yeah, FPS-wise, it's pretty much the same with shadows on medium compared to shadows on low with everything else on high. But you get the idea, guys. It is playable either way. All you need to do is lower down those textures and the shadows as well. Unfortunately, once again, let's... that's not what I wanted to change. I want to change it to ultra settings now. Obviously, I'm going to switch this to low, this to medium, and let's play it like this. DLAA still. I'm going to restart again. Okay, so we can indeed still run ultra settings with medium shadows and low textures, and it looks like this. Very similar to medium and very similar to high, and FPS-wise, it's about like, what, 5 FPS or so lower than what we saw previously. On high settings it was reaching 80 FPS at times. Now it doesn't go over like 79. It's such a minor difference, okay? Like with the 4060, I think you should just play it on ultra, maybe on very ultra or supreme, and keep textures on low and shadows on medium. I guess that's the way to go with this GPU. Again, all because of the VRAM limitation, because if it wasn't for that, we could possibly see max settings with like a 12GB 4060 theoretically, right? And play with 60 plus FPS, or at least like 60 to 70 FPS most of the time. That would be great. But no, they needed to put 8GB on this thing, and it's showing its age already, even though it's not even 2 years old. Anyway, around here we get a little bit higher FPS, as you can see. Things are looking pretty similar again. In terms of graphics and in terms of performance, it doesn't matter if you're on low settings, or well, low settings is not as good, but medium settings or higher settings, ultra settings in this case. I can tell maybe like the ambient occlusion is a little bit better right now. Things are a little bit more contrasty, I guess, overall. Maybe that's why this game has a supreme preset and a very ultra preset as well. You know, because it doesn't really change much up until you use those. And even if you use those, it might not change much. So let's try it out, guys, okay? Let's try very ultra settings with low textures and medium shadows again. All right, this is it. Very ultra over here. So basically everything is maxed out right now. Yeah, you know what, guys? This is what we just played with. Ultra settings, low textures, medium shadows. Okay, and this is already maxed out on everything aside from texture filtering here, which isn't really performance intensive whatsoever. So going to very ultra only changes the texture pool size compared to ultra, which we already had on low, and this. And then the maximum settings or supreme settings also only change the texture pool size compared to very ultra. Everything else stays the same. So I guess we can call this supreme settings with low textures and medium shadows. I'm restarting again, and well, this is it, guys. It's exactly the same FPS. After all, what changed was the little anisotropic filtering or whatever, texture filtering. Yes, that's it. So yeah, it's gonna be the same. Why do they have so many graphics presets if basically 3 of them are the same? The very ultra, and supreme. The only change is the texture resolution, you know? And then coming from medium settings all the way up to this, it didn't change much. So guys, just max out the game with the RTX 4060. It's still going to be 60 plus all of the time. Actually, lock the FPS to like 60. Oh, there's another Jack over here. Very good. Hi, buddy. How is it going? Oh, so cute. It's so cute. This game is great, guys. You can explore a little bit. It has Jacks everywhere. But yeah, it's very disappointing, actually. Not because the performance is bad or anything. It's disappointing because we don't have enough VRAM to properly utilize higher presets here, you know? Oh boy. Anyway, you don't need to utilize DLSS. If you want to utilize frame generation, let's turn it on and see how it does. Because FG will use a lot of VRAM. Yeah, you can't use frame generation. Yeah, okay. See what happens if you run out of VRAM. It's ridiculous to me how they advertise frame generation a lot, or at least when the 40 series came out, it was one of the selling points of these GPUs, and frame generation does consume VRAM, and they only put 8 GB on the 4060. And this is what happens. We're playing at 1080p with frame generation, the feature of the 40 series, and we're getting 17 FPS. Obviously, you don't need frame generation in this game. The FPS are already really good. So at least there's that. Now, I guess we should try it at like 1440p resolution, since 1080p was largely the same every single time I tried it, right? Wait a second. Does it not change? Oh, okay, wait. We need to apply over here. Wow, yep, you can't play this game at 1440p, guys. Even with medium shadows and low textures, it gets you 5 FPS because it just runs out of VRAM. At least it's not crashing or anything like it did previously just because of high textures. But yeah, this is terrible. Because the GPU itself, we know that it has the capability, it has the power of running 1440p, even at supreme settings and low textures and medium shadows, but now we can't just because of the VRAM limitation. It's terrible. Oh boy. What the hell? I can't even navigate the menu properly. I'm doing this, guys. I'm just gonna set it to the absolute lowest settings now, again, with 1440p resolution to see if that helps. Okay, I'm also going to disable the reflections quality here. All right, there we go. If it gets 5 FPS, I'm just gonna end it right there. Okay, thankfully, if you use lowest settings everywhere, you can actually play at 1440p. But look at the VRAM allocation again. It's going up. It's going up. Oh no. I think after a little while, maybe after 10, 20 minutes of gameplay, it will probably drop down the FPS like crazy because it will need a little bit more VRAM, and it just doesn't have any little bit more VRAM to give, you know. I was not expecting this. Look at the RAM usage. It's already swapping a bunch of things as well. 14 gigabytes of RAM usage. 8 gigabytes is a true limitation in this game, okay? It will prevent you from having better looking graphics where the GPU could definitely handle that, but the VRAM just can't. It's so unfortunate. And the game is even Nvidia branded, so wow. Okay, anyway, that's the experience, guys. I don't think anything will change. Why is that blinking over there? In terms of the FPS that you get when the game actually comes out in a couple of days, you know, it's only a couple of days away. Maybe the day one patch will fix some things. I hope it does fix the frame time graph issues without any FPS cap. But don't hold your breath thinking that the VRAM issues will be fixed, because that will probably take a little while longer. At least it usually does in most games that come out these days. Finally, in terms of path tracing, it will also come out when the game releases for everybody, and I will be sure to test out some more expensive GPUs with path tracing, because the 4060 won't be able to do anything with path tracing. I mean, again, it's already running out of VRAM. Path tracing will also use more VRAM, so yeah, it just won't be able to do anything. But we'll see, of course. Thanks for watching. Catch you in the next one. Love you all. Bye-bye.